Oh man, so Bitcoin flash crashed all the way down to $57,000 before recovering and is now sitting at $61,000. Congrats to anybody who had a limit order in place and picked up some Bitcoin at $57,000. But now we're going to look at what price target we can hit, because we're forming this critical pattern which 68% of the time breaks to the upside, and I'm going to give you the exact price target which we could be hitting if we break to the upside on this pattern. Now first, if you haven't set up your accounts with Swissborg, do check that out. You can get up to 100 euros when you deposit 50 euros. If you haven't set one up for Coinbase, you can also do the same for Coinbase. And you can also do the same with BlockFi, okay? So with BlockFi, you're going to get $10 in Bitcoin when you fund $100. And with Coinbase, you will get $10 when you buy or sell $100 worth of crypto. All the links will be in the description. Go check those out. We'll get straight into the charts. So you can see here on this chart, we've been forming this downward wedge, okay? This is a falling wedge, and this is a continuation pattern, okay? So normally you continue the trend to the direction you were going in. So in this case, we were going upwards. We entered this continuation pattern. Okay, so we're going upwards, we enter this continuation pattern, and you'd expect 68% of the time a breakout to the upside. Now, you could also see that within this wedge, we pointed out yesterday, we were forming an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Okay, so this is your inverse head and shoulders. You've got your left shoulder as it depicted here, head and right shoulder. Now, within there, what happened was, as we were forming our right shoulder, we had a massive flash crash. Now, a lot of people were asking me in our Discord, and we were discussing this last night late, what caused this flash crash? And what this is, guys, is this is no different to the flash crash we had the day before, okay? So when you have high amounts of liquidation, you have high amounts of leverage, in the system, you get what are called liquidations, which is where people who are 30x, 50x, 100x on their trades, if the price moves a little bit, even with this much is enough, that can then trigger a whole bunch of stop losses, which then makes the price fall a lot more because the exchanges have to liquidate their positions. It makes the price fall, liquidates the next set, and you get this domino effect where you get this action right here. Now, that is because of leverage trading. So we had that a couple of days ago, and we've had it again. This is because of revenge trading, okay? We need to understand this phenomenon and this psychology. It's really important that we understand this, because what happens is when you have traders who have just been stopped out, you got to understand the human psychology. They will come in the next day, they'll take a couple of hours off, which is what traders do. They'll come in the next day and they want to go and beat the market now. They want to make back all the money they lost the day before. And so they place even more aggressive trades. And so the people who are manipulating the markets can easily then just liquidate them as well. And the whales can easily do that to manipulate the price, because they want to be buying it at $57,000 per Bitcoin versus where we're going to head to on our price target, which I'm going to share with you very shortly, because that makes a massive difference when you're ordering millions and millions and billions of dollars of Bitcoin. So that's why we get a whole bunch of manipulation. So this inward head and shoulders pattern was going to give us a breakout, not just from the inverse head and shoulders, but that would have led to a breakout out of this falling wedge, okay? Now, this falling wedge, you can see here, when the flash crash happened, we got a whole bunch of support at the bottom of the wedge, perfectly where the wedge was. 57,000-ish is where everybody bought back up and bought the dip, and the price went straight back up in that hourly candle, okay? The price then recovered, and we almost seem to be trying to create this right shoulder again, but we got rejected from the top now. Are we going to break out? We know that statistically from this pattern, it's a 68% chance that we're going to break out, so we'll be monitoring this closely, and your target price will be at the top of the wedge as $60,000 if you're trading this one, guys. So you're going to want to wait for confirmation of the breakout. You can then scale up your position slightly, and then you'd want to, if we get a retest, so if we get a breakout, as always, you guys know, if we get a retest, you want to add more to your position, and then you want to ride it to the upside, okay? Now, your price target, like I said, is 67,000 on this trade. As always, if you're trading this on the short term, you want to exit your trade, take profits on your trade just before the 67,000. Again, because of psychology, a lot of traders will have their take profit exactly at 67 at the top here. Just take it a little bit more earlier, right? Don't be so greedy on your price targets. That's always very important to understand. Now, what's going on in terms of the dominance, right? Let's take a look at the Bitcoin dominance, because we can see here we're already on the hourly, we broke out from this W pattern, right? We were monitoring this W pattern for a while, and we broke out from that downwards pattern, and now Bitcoin is kind of losing some strength here, which is very interesting because Bitcoin is just, Bitcoin's sitting now at about 0.58% up today, but you can see some of the altcoins are starting to move. You can see Phantom's at 4.5% still today, recovering better. Link is up 3%. You've got Uniswap up 2%. You've got Theta up 7%. You've got quite a few altcoins now moving faster than Bitcoin, which is very interesting and something we'll want to monitor. We can see the Fear and Greed Index is now sitting at 70, so slightly greedier than the reading we got from the day before. Okay, so we're at 66, it's gone to 70. Again, that's some of that revenge trading, and when people saw the dip being bought up, they thought, oh no, now we're going to all-time highs. So we're seeing that, and we're seeing that manifest in a lot of the meme coins as well, right? A lot of the momentum coins, Shiba, SafeMoon, we've seen them all moving too, right? So you got Shiba still holding there quite strongly, to be honest, at 0.0000, almost 70, right? We can call it that, pretty much where they're at now. So really interesting time for Bitcoin. Critical that we break this pattern, guys, and we'll be monitoring this inverse head and shoulders pattern, but more importantly, the channel. Now, coming out onto the daily for Bitcoin, because we want to look at all time frames, okay? We're still on target to hit our cup and handle pattern at 75, okay? Until this comes back down to the neckline, we're not really invalidating that because we're still technically on an uptrend. And what you can see here is if I zoom in, you can see we're in this big ascending wedge. Let's just take that arrow off. Let me just show you this. So you can see we're in this wedge here, okay? And technically we got a small dip out to the downside, but it could have been a fake out and we could be heading back into this wedge. So the blue wedge, which I was showing you on the hourly time frame, if we break out of that wedge and meet our price target, that would then mean we're back in this pattern, okay? Which means we're still on our uptrend to our 75k target on the daily. Now, please don't forget we have a broader price target of 85. That comes from this big purple breakout which we've had, okay? So just to remind you guys, this big purple wedge which we've been forming for a long time, you can see that's that triangle there. We got the big breakout here, and that's what we're trading here. So if you were trading this big trade with us and you don't fall for a lot of the hourly movements, you're doing pretty well where we are at now. Call it 60, even at 61, but at the highs, you've made 30% on your money. Nice simple trade on this bigger picture breakout. You don't need to trade on the short-term time frames, and if you're inexperienced, always go up per time frame. It gives you more time to think and to see the patterns and to judge things, right? If you're trading on an hourly time frame and you're inexperienced, it's very difficult. Zoom out, try trading on the 6 hourly or even the daily chart is always better, like this one, because you can see the patterns manifesting and you can place trades a little bit better. So this is really important. We're still fighting for support in this green box here, which is forming the support / resistance from earlier in the year. So that's very important. Now let's bring out the EMA ribbon because I want to show you guys where we're at exactly. Let's do it on a clean chart. There we go. Well, a little bit cleaner. And you can see we're still super bullish here on the daily. Okay, so if I show you this daily chart and I just zoom into where we're at now, you can see here, even with that wick down, we're still comfortably above our EMA ribbon, and we're comfortably, that's just a nice retest, and that normally sets you up for a big move to the upside. Okay, so that's very important to note. Now if we look at the 4 hourly, that's where you can see the story's a little bit different, right? Because on the 4 hourly is where we had this, the large bearish pattern of the head and shoulders pattern. We didn't break out, which is good. We went back above the neckline, but we got to be careful that it could still fall to the downside here because, like I said, until we create this high above that right shoulder, we're not out of the dirt just yet, okay? So very important that on the hourly charts, like we were looking at on here, very important that we break out of this blue pattern. Very important that we break out of this blue channel to the upside, and the good news is 68% of the time this type of pattern does lead to a breakout to the upside. Now we seem to have had a little bit of a rejection here. They're fighting for this breakout right now, so we'll monitor this in the next couple of hours and hopefully we'll get a decision. Now even if we head to the downside, you'd get some support from the bottom of the channel here and we'd want to head back up, but ideally volume can come in now and we can get out of this channel soonish. So that's what we're looking at on the Bitcoin chart. Now guys, as always, if you like my analysis, you like my technical blend between technical and fundamental, then please consider subscribing and hitting that like button. As a reminder, if you've not collected your free bonuses from the exchanges below, do go ahead and do so. You've got Swissborg, you've got BlockFi, you've got Coinbase, all offering great bonuses. I mean, Swissborg, you're getting 100 euros when you deposit 50 euros. You can just take it back out straight away. It's a great app. I use it here in the UK because obviously you have a lot of issues with Binance. Coinbase, $10 in free Bitcoin when you buy or sell $100. So that's good for Coinbase. And BlockFi, you get $10 in Bitcoin when you fund $100. So again, you can just take it back out. So go collect your bonuses. Make sure you're not missing out on those. As always, the link to our free public Discord will be in the pinned comment below. Head over there. That community is really building nicely now. And we've got a lot of people, a lot of like-minded people in the community asking questions, sharing chart patterns. It's really cool, asking people how they're placing their trades. What are you investing in? Sharing new coin ideas. So definitely head over into there. It's not going to cost you a penny, and just have a chat with everybody in the community. I also spend time answering questions there as well. As always, guys, thanks for watching this video. We'll see you in the next one.